let's talk a little bit about just this young generation. O has loved to talk about the 90s era of basketball, but the young heads have had enough. Recently, TikTok was ablaze with youngsters trying to expose the 90s and the former GOAT, Michael Jordan. The hashtag "We Done with the 90s" was trending. Some of the claims, like MJ doesn't have a left hand, are erroneous, but one user by the name of Big Body Baller Boy did a breakdown of the 1996 Sonics-Bulls finals game.
I pulled up the 1996 NBA Finals Game 1, 72-10 Bulls, supposedly best team of all time. Look at this shit, bro. Right off rip, we have the GOAT Michael Jordan hitting the side of the backboard with 17 seconds on the shot clock. We literally clown Russell Westbrook for that. And look at this shit. All NBA Scottie Pippen, right? Look what he's about to do. They don't even put a hand up. He airballs, uncontested three. Look at Luke Longley charging through the lane. LeBron's not doing that 50 times? And I don't want to hear shit about Gary Payton, nigga. Look at this pass from Gary Payton. Nigga, look at that pass from Gary Payton. And all this supposed great defense. Look at this shit, bro. Look at this shit. The nigga doesn't even put a hand up. That's an all-NBA player. Look at the shot selection. He has Steve Kerr open at the three-point line. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Look at it. Nigga, look at this. This is Shaq in a full caliber. Nigga, that was all the first quarter of the 96 NBA Finals. LeBron is the GOAT. LeBron is the GOAT.
You know, old heads, young heads may not always see eye to eye on certain subjects, but okay, you've been, somewhat critical of the 90s era basketball.
That's Gil's fault. Gil started that.
No, I said 80s.
But yeah, you started all this trend shit though.
No. The reason I do it because everybody who puts these guys in their situation actually never watch games. Right? They've never watched games. If you're an analyst and you're under the age of 90, don't tell me about Wilt Chamberlain's games and Bill Russell did this, because you didn't watch actually how they played. Right? You're just going off of stats, right? You're not looking at the rules back then. You're not looking at, like, for instance, back then, All-Star games, right? 20 players made the All-Star game, right? There was only 8 teams. Midway through the season, they cut one whole team. Say, you just fuck it, just go, right? So for the most of the season, there was only 70 to 90 players in the league. 20 of them made the All-Star game. Today, there's only 24 All-Stars with 450 players. 20 players, 70 players. 20 made it, 7. Shit, damn near. 40 starters, 20 made the All-Star game. Half the starting 5 of the NBA back then made the All-Star game. So when you're talking about, oh, you only made 3, they made 8. If you didn't make the All-Star game, how trash were you? To be honest, let's just be honest, right? Yeah. It was easier. So I don't want to hear reporters talking about the game back then because you didn't fucking watch it. This let me know how the game was played in the 90s, even though I was a kid. Grant Hill went on an interview. I think he went on All the Smoke. Grant Hill, he was a 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA player. He's working out at UCLA against Kobe Bryant. Kobe averaged 7. This was after his rookie season, so something going into his next year. He was working out. He's watching Kobe do something he'd never seen before. Skill development. Skill development. He said, I've never ever seen. This guy's been in the league and made 3 All-Stars and 2 All-NBA teams at this point. He said, I've never seen someone actually work on different skills. He said, at that point, all we did was just play games. We just played pickup, work on free throws. We never actually sat and trained and work on skilled stuff. Damn. He said, Kobe challenged me in a one-on-one match. And I said, that fucker averaged 7, he's fucking 19 years old. Yeah, I'll play you. 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA. He said this was the hardest thing he ever did in the summer, was playing this kid one-on-one, a 19-year-old one-on-one. He said that was the hardest thing I ever did in the summer. That let me know everything I needed to know. The first person you ever seen work on his talent was a 19-year-old Kobe Bryant.
And you a 3-time All.
And you're a 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA player up until that time.
So, I mean, all that Space Jam shit, they was just going up there just...
They just went up and hooped.
They just hooped. They ain't working on no
They
game.
just hooped for the summer.
Hey,
they
Michael.
They didn't work out.
Well, I have a problem with these dudes that get on the internet with their shirt off and shit. And they get their phone in the bathroom and they just think they're talking about some shit because they go and look at the past games and pick up all the old shit that was some trash shit, talk about the trash shit, right? I think we all have trash moments,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
That weren't highlighted when we were coming up, and now you can go back and highlight, and all these new niggas can come in here and talk about how trash the old times was, right? That's bullshit. Niggas, you sitting in your house, you don't play nothing, you don't do nothing. You do nothing. So imagine us highlighting how the fact you don't do shit all day long. And you sit here and try to collect a little check, a little $2 off your little Instagram monetization screen. Fuck you niggas.
It's more than $2. It's more than $2.
Them niggas not making $2.
More than $2.
Hey, they not making more than $2. Talking about the 90s and whatever. It's just like, motherfucker go break down my shit. Oh, look how trash you was and this and that. It's like, well, where the highlights? Where the good part? You ain't gonna show the good part? I don't like showing highlights. But you gonna highlight the bad part and talk about the niggas that put in work as trash.
Yeah, it is a lot of that out here.
It's a lot of that.
It is a lot of that.
But that goes on.
It's weak.
No.
It's weak.
But it goes both ways, right?
That's what that's what I was gonna highlight. It goes both because you can show the highlights and it look good, and you show the bad
that
shit.
was
and it look
always
bad.
my argument. When you're trying to make a argument for your player, just make your argument for your player.
Yes. Right.
Because what you're doing is you're trying to prove how this person sucks. So you're gonna find all the information that makes him bad to prove your point.
Yes. Yeah.
Prove your point by just talking about who you like versus trying to figure out what we don't like about this person.
Show both sides of it, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
we can
Not even both sides. Just show the
Just show
side
the-
that you
that you
like.
like,
If you
yeah.
like Kobe, just show all Kobe stuff. Don't show me Michael Jordan stuff. Don't show me LeBron doing
Right,
this.
right.
Don't show no stats about these. Just prove your point on him. Let this person prove his point on his guy.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
But if you want to say, oh, the 90s suck, all you're going to do is just find a whole bunch of bricks and this and that.
Yeah, that shit's
Of
whack
course.
to me, man.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny as hell.
It's funny.
I mean, it's
like even with Jordan, right? When they showed that, oh, Jordan didn't go left hand, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to show all the stuff that says he couldn't go left. Then all the people who want to show, he did dominate left. I can tell you this, every highlight you're going to show that him dominating his left is going to be after Isaiah Thomas talked.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
He worked on it.
It's going to be, he worked on it going probably 92, 93, 94, 95. Those are highlights you're going to show he's going left. So it's all narrated in the way you want to talk. Obviously, that was the game plan back when Isaiah was playing.
Yep.
He didn't go left very well, right? Most of his jumpers went right. Most of his drives went right, right? They couldn't stop him going right. Obviously, we're pushing him to his left hand. That was their advantage over him. Obviously, he cleaned that shit up.
Yep.
Well, but
That's like anything.
it's like comparing a Nintendo and a PS5, though, right? Nintendo was the shit
Back
in our
then.
head that-
And we
in our
loved
head
it.
that
We loved
Duck Hunt
it.
was
Mike
cracking.
Tyson Punch-Out.
Boop, boop. But I'm just- for what we had then, the game has evolved. I think that's the thing. Like, so I don't see either side. Like, again, I saw the comedy element of it while we brought it to the table. It is nice that young kids are going back and watching those games, but that's just really a testament to the game evolving. The game that it is now isn't what it was in the 90s. But that was our era. It's nostalgia. We go back and look at it. Same way we used to shit on our parents' era. You try to compare the 60s, 70s, and the 80s like you've done, Gil, to further generations. That's the goal.
Everyone says this.
Yeah.
Like even something like this, right? Someone says, all right, can you make an argument, right? They was like, who you think is the best shooting guard? I was like, Michael Jordan, then Kobe. And they said this, make an argument for Kobe's the best shooting guard. I said, okay. Kobe played against the most talented shooting guards in NBA history, right? So if we say who's the top 10 shooting guards ever, right? Jordan only played against, in the top 10, a young Kobe and a young Allen Iverson.
And
that's it.
yeah.
Everybody else, right? Cole played against Jordan. He played against AI. He played against Dwayne Wade. He played against Ray Allen. He played against
Vince
James
Harden.
Harden. Right? So he played against the most talented shooting guards the game has ever seen. Jordan's competition would have been Drexler, who won't be top 10.
Mitch Richmond,
who won't be top 10. Reggie Miller is today's Clay, right? And he won't even be top 10. So that would be the argument that Kobe Bryant played against. We talk about the numbers, but who did they play against? Who was the competition? Who did he have to guard? Who guarded him? Where are those guys in history? Since it's been 30 years, where are they?
Yeah.
Right? So the fact that those guys aren't considered top, their legacy didn't last, right? Then that would be the argument. But it's hard, man. It's really hard to really do things like this because you can only play against the talent that you played against, right?
It's like comparing the music. Best rappers from then compared to rappers now. We always considered our everybody's top 5 got Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Tupac, some of these guys. These guys all knew each other. These guys all were good friends between the top 4. So you look at all the new guys, you say, yeah, they rap better. Why? Because the rap game evolved, the wordplay evolved, the production evolved. Just like handle has evolved, the shooting range has evolved, the skill set for the bigs have evolved. So the game is going to change, but it don't take away the bullshit. Niggas shooting the ball on the side of the backboard, niggas doing the Shaq and the Fool shit. It's still bullshit in the game.
That's been happening since the beginning of the game.
So you can't be like, all right, these niggas ain't trash too. So a lot of these new niggas is trash.
To us.
And they play trash.
To us.
So then back then, you compare it to back then, it's like, yeah, Michael Jordan then was on some hot garbage shit when they did certain shit. But you can't say that the game back then wasn't what it was to the people who was watching it. We thought it was good.
Think about anything that pops from the old days is because someone young did it. Right? Thing with this, like we're done with the 90s. This is a young trend. It's popping because of the young generation.
Yes.
Right? But the young generation, for the most part, they don't know nothing back. Just like when we played, we didn't know nothing about the 60s and the 70s. People who's in media have been 20 years, they don't even know nothing about that era. They only introduced the era that they know. Right? So it's really, for you to be really updated and for you to be informational, you have to sit down and go back and watch.
They're not doing that.
That's why when I say some stuff, people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Then they go back and look and like, fuck.
You're right. Because you actually watched this and you're like, yo, I got to go look at this shit.
Sometimes when I see a topic, I'll call. Hey, how was the game back then? And when they was talking about the 80s, and he was like, y'all, dog, listen, you're talking about the original form of it. Right?
Yeah.
The original form, he said, but it's just like anything. The original form is not as good as you think it is, but because it's the original, that's all they know. He said, we had 3 people on staff. The coach, the assistant coach, and one medical. We didn't have no trainers. If you had bad form coming to the NBA, goddamn it, that was it. In the 80s. He said, you didn't have no one to introduce new form shooting. So if your shot was bad coming into it, that was it. There was no guy sitting there rebounding for you taking 500 shots.
None of that.
It was like, so we didn't have shooting machines that you can sit on there and shoot 1,000 shots. We didn't have that. So if you put an extra 30 minutes into your own craft, goddamn it, you was above the rest.
Man, for sure.
After the game, we taking the 6-pack to the head. See you next game. He said that. He
See you next week. Yeah,
he said we didn't have the medal. He said we didn't have time to after game sit there and train for 2 hours. We had to catch a fucking red-eye flight.
Oh yeah, that was
commercial, sitting with the regular people, ice bags going to the next city. So we didn't have training.
With no ultrasound and none of that shit.
What you're saying is fucking correct, but they don't want to say it.
Right.
We didn't have trainers to work on our individual skills. So whatever we did before the game or after game or in practice, that was it.
Yep.
We was on our own. We had to flip the ball out, catch it, shoot. Flip the ball out, catch it, shoot. That was in the post. Work on our shit by ourselves.
It's the same with music. You didn't have all of these different softwares and all these different microphones and different engineers that can tweak your voice. It's like, you had to put that shit on the 2-track, you had to take this off and do. It was a whole bunch of shit that you had to do to make you special.
But that's what I said. So it's a give and take. He said we will have the fame of it because it was limited. So if you're Chicago, back in Bird and Magic, right? The 2 cleanest dudes, right? they're pushing the league because those are the 2 channels. Then you have Dr. J, then you have Jordan. So you have a 4-channel rotation. So your fame in the 80s came from 4 channels.
Yes.
Right? Playing against these guys. He said now most of you guys will lose your stardom because everybody, I don't have to watch. I don't have to watch LeBron James if I don't want to. I can watch anybody I want to. I can flick from channel to channel to channel to channel, watching different games. So I don't have to be sitting glued to a certain person. He said, but now you guys have social media where you can get back some of your stuff. He said, so it's a give and pull on, your popularity anyway. Yeah. He said, so it's not comparable. He said, it's really not comparable. It's just hard. It's just times are different, game is different. You guys are more popular due to the fact that you have overseas countries watching you, right? Now, they can watch you in TV form versus when you go overseas, they're buying tickets to see you now.
Right.
Movies. Yep. You had to buy a ticket to go to the movie theater.
Now you can stream that shit.
Now you can stream it. So these movies are going to have more money and more sold out versus then, but they won't have more ticket sales.
Right. You don't even got to watch bootlegs no more.
Right.
Yeah, it's
the glory days.
That's what I said, bootlegging. Like so, the game is all